So recently I did a video discussing the demon realm in Dragon Ball, the Makai, and what it actually is. And in that video I briefly talked about the Makaioshin, the demonic supreme Kais. And in that video I said that in the future I would be doing a video going into what the Makaioshin are, how they relate to Dragon Ball in the past, present, and possible future. This is that video. Let's talk about the Makaioshin.
This is Lord Beerus, and unless you want your planet destroyed, subscribe to Geekdom 101. It's even better than pudding.
Now, when it comes to discussing the Makaio and the Makaioshin, you have to understand that this information is relatively new, but not that new. The first mention of the Makaioshin, the demonic supreme Kais, the evil supreme Kais, is from an interview with Toriyama himself from the Super Exciting Guide. Now, one thing you have to always take into account when discussing the Super Exciting Guide is that it came out in 2009, which is several years before Dragon Ball Super and Battle of Gods and the Renaissance of the series, but it was also several years after the original series had wrapped up both manga and anime. So because of that, when we look at the Daizenshu, the Chozenshu, and the other guidebooks, the GT Perfect files, whatever you want to use, a lot of it is old information, and some of it may or may not apply to current Dragon Ball. So what Toriyama himself states is that while we know for certain that Dabura is the king of the demon realm, he is not a god. Instead, we have Makaio and Makaioshin, which translates to kings of the demon realm or gods of the kings of the demon realm, depending on what we're talking about here. And basically they are Kais and Supreme Kais that are, well, demonic. They are the opposite, the negative of the Kais and Supreme Kais that we know of in the series proper. Toriyama says that whenever a Supreme Kai, a Shinjin, which is a special god race, is born, but they're born evil, they leave the Shinjin planet and go to the Makai, which is the demon realm. Now, it's not made clear if the evil Shinjin are the same as the original rulers, the original Makaioshin in the demon realm. There's no actual origin story about the Makaioshin's involvement, but we do know from the Dragon Ball video games that the demon realm was created by a plethora of wizards who were trapped in a space, and thus they created the demon realm. But it's never stated if those wizards are actually Shinjin or Makaioshin. But Toriyama says in the interview that even though the Makaioshin are evil, the Kaioshin, the good gods, the gods of creation, are more powerful in general. So it doesn't seem like the Makaioshin really pose a threat to the Kaioshin. Now again, this is old information, and with the new Dragon Ball stuff coming out, starting with Battle of Gods, there was a lot of speculation before the film had come out about whether or not Beerus and Whis are Makaioshin, but they are indeed not. Those are two totally different god classes. The reality is that we have not seen and maybe never will see a Makaioshin in the actual Dragon Ball series, whether it be the anime or the manga, but there are a couple of suspects that I want to quickly elaborate on or possibly debunk, the first of which being Dabura. Dabura is not a Makaioshin, he is just the ruler of the demon world. It's kind of like how the Earth has a president or how Frieza was an emperor in Universe 7. Same thing. Dabura is just the ruler, but he's not a god. Then we have, of course, a guy who many Dragon Ball fans thought was a Makaioshin incorrectly, whether it be speculation or just a misunderstanding of what a Makaioshin actually is, and that is Zamasu. Zamasu is not a Makaioshin or a Makaio. Zamasu is just a Kaioshin who rebelled against both the mortals and the gods. He's a Kai that went bad, but that's not a Makaioshin, because a Makaioshin is born with an evil heart, and it's implied that even though a Makaioshin is a Shinjin, it's not the same as the other Kais. They're sort of a different race. Now, the closest that we've come to an actual Makaioshin in Dragon Ball cannot be found in the Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Z series. You have to go to the Dragon Ball video game universe, the universe that is created for the games like Dragon Ball Online, Dragon Ball Heroes, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and a little bit of Dragon Ball Fusions, and the biggest suspect is demon god Demigra. Now, Demigra does fall into the category of being a Makaioshin based on the fact that his name is Demon God and that there's implications that he helped create the demon realm, but the interesting story here is that it doesn't appear to be the same thing at all as what Toriyama described, for the sole purpose that Demigra was not born an evil Kai. Even though Demigra's first appearance was in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Heroes really expounds upon his origin, and we find out in Dragon Ball Heroes that Demigra was originally just a wizard in heaven who worked alongside the Supreme Kai of Time and was a caretaker to Toki Toki, the Time Bird. He would eventually betray Cronoa, the Supreme Kai of Time, and thus he and other wizards were sealed away in some kind of temporal prison, but they converted that into the demon realm. So if you take that story and you combine it with Toriyama's original interview, it appears that Demigra may have created the demon realm, and since then, since his original creation, which was 75 million years before Xenoverse, so we're talking about a long time ago, the story that the games are telling us is that the Makaioshin are banished to the demon realm if they are born with evil hearts. So, it's not a story that was explicitly said by Toriyama, but Toriyama did have input in the Xenoverse game as well as in Dragon Ball Online. We don't know how much, but he certainly had it. So it makes sense that that kind of be the actual story here, that, Demigra was sort of like the first Makaioshin, but he's not a member of the corrupt Makaioshin race. You can kind of think of it like Lucifer and the demons in the original Bible. It's sort of similar how they're going for that kind of reference. The issue in talking about the Makaioshin is that it appears to be a concept that Toriyama would just drop in future years because we haven't seen anything of the Makaioshin, and in fact, the idea of the Makaioshin being born and a god coming out of the Shinjin tree every time another god dies sort of contradicts Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super because we haven't seen replacement Supreme Kais for the ones that Majin Buu killed. So it's almost like he just came up with the idea saying, wouldn't it be cool if there were evil gods? But we haven't actually seen these evil gods. Gods of destruction are not Makaioshin, neither are angels, and neither is the Grand Priest. So as of right now, the only place to see real Makaioshin is, I guess, in the video games. Thank you for watching this video, and I got a few more videos about the demon realm coming up that I have in the back of my head that I might do, including the definition of what a demon actually is. So I'm sure you'll enjoy that because the series makes it confusing about what a demon actually is. So if you are new to Geekdom 101, remember to punch the subscribe button and remember to hit the notification bell so you can always get my content when it drops. More videos on the way. I thank you as always for your support, and I hope you have a great day.